The acting world is mourning the loss of one of its greats. 51-year-old James Gandolfini passed away Wednesday night while vacationing in Italy. He was best known for his Emmy-winning role as the conflicted New Jersey mob boss Tony Soprano in the HBO hit series The Sopranos. Joining me now to take a look back at Gandolfini's legacy, we're joined by HuffPost Executive Arts and Entertainment Editor Mike Hogan. 51, I must say, when I heard the news last night, not only too young, but a devastating blow, one of the greats.
Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, the more this really is a Kurt Cobain moment, you know. The Sopranos ushered in really this golden age of television that we're all still enjoying right now. It's hard to imagine Walter White from Breaking Bad or Don Draper from Mad Men without Tony Soprano. You know, looking back, it's hard to kind of remember now how revolutionary it was to have this sort of big, hulking, not conventionally attractive hero who was also an anti-hero. I mean, there's a moment a few episodes into the first season where he kills a rat with, you know, a man a snitch with his bare hands while taking his daughter on a tour of colleges, and it just blew people's minds that something like that could happen. Now we're kind of getting used to that in shows, things happening in Game of Thrones that never would have happened before, but that was a real watershed moment.
That's right.
And the fact that Tony became this kind of hero icon, macho icon, but also sex symbol, you know, in a very unconventional way. I mean, and that's a lot of that. So much of that has to do with the talent of James Gandolfini.
So let's take a look at the quote from David Chase, because I think it's so apt. He was a genius, David says. Anyone who saw him, even in the smallest of his performances, knows that. He's one of the greatest actors of this or any time. A great deal of that genius resided in those sad eyes. I remember telling him many times, "You don't get it. You're like Mozart." There'd be silence at the other end of the phone. He wasn't easy sometimes, but he was my partner. He was my brother in ways I can't explain and never will be able to explain.
Well, David Chase fought very hard to have James Gandolfini as the star of the show. You know, and Gandolfini even was quoted in the New York Times obituary. He said this to Newsweek. He said, "I loved the script, and I figured they were going to get somebody a lot more handsome and debonair than me to play it." But David Chase just said, "That is my guy." And Gandolfini absolutely did not make it easy on him all the time. You know, he disappeared from the set a few times. I think he took it very hard. Playing the character was not easy for James Gandolfini, and I think there were a number of reasons for that. One is he's just a sensitive guy. The way that he acted was a little bit methody. I think he wasn't the kind of guy who can snap out of the character and kind of, you know, laugh it off. He would go to a very, very dark place to play this very dark character. And then, of course, after he played it, he became so closely associated with Tony that I think it was hard for Jimmy Gandolfini, who by all accounts was a very kind, gentle, nice, somewhat shy man, to go through life. And you know how it is with TV stars. It's not even like movies. People really think they know the character. You've been in their home for 86 hours or whatever it was. And so people coming up to him, "Tony, Tony." And this was a guy who was just, you know, he was a kind and generous person. But to go be Tony and to have to be Tony for a long time, I think was difficult for him.